Hey guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Fenrir deck profile. So, love you guys have been asking me for this, and I was, debating between showing this deck first or my Shadow Paladins, but I like to play with this deck more, so I'm just going to show this deck off first. So let's get right into the deck profile. So for the time we're running the new booster from GPT-04, and his skill is Generation Pick 1, put this card into Soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and during this turn it gets a new skill, and that skill is once per turn, choose a card that's not this card, and when that card is put into the Soul, put in the drop zone, you can call it to Rearguard Circle instead. So basically, it's basically just giving him another Fenrir effect, except you don't need a Counter Blast. So it's pretty good. During that turn, you can get a +2 and just like get units on your field like that. So it's quite nice. Next, we're running 4 Fenrirs. So obviously, Fenrir is the stride break of the deck, and the skill is Generation Pick 2, Soul Blast 3. When this card attacks, you pay the cost. If you do during this battle, this card gets an extra critical, and your opponent cannot call Great 1 or above units to the Guardian Circle. So it's kind of like a you just still accept, not as good, but it's still pretty good because you have that booster that gets power for every time you Soul Blast. So it's not horrible. It comes in handy late game if you end up there for some reason. So yeah, Stride Break skill is once per turn. On your turn, when a unit starts on this unit, you can Soul Charge 3, and then choose one of your Vanguards, and during this turn, it gets a new skill. Once per turn, Counter Blast 1. When a unit in your Soul is put to drop zone, you would pay the cost. If you do, call that unit to a Rearguard Circle. So yeah, you just get a free unit whenever you Soul Blast. It's once per turn, so you can't. It's not like super broken, but it helps. It helps. Again, combo with this guy, you get 2 free units, so it's quite nice. For the alternative Vanguard, we're running 4 Minervas, cause waifu, and it's also a pretty good late game finisher if you somehow ran out of strides to go into. Then her restand will come in quite handy. Her skill is Counter Blast 1, Limit Break 4, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 3. Choose 3 Genesis cards in your hand and discard it. When this card attacks at the end of the battle, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand this unit, and then during this turn, this card gets +1,000 power, and this skill cannot be used again. So again, she's a restand. She's also cross ride, but we don't run Angelica in this deck, so there's no point in saying that. So yeah, 4 Minerva. It's good. Next, we're running 3 Chimera. Chimera is grade 2 from Regalia. Her skill is when this card is placed on a Rearguard Circle, you can choose 3 Regalia units in your drop zone and put them into your Soul. So you can combo her skill with Fenrir to call it out and then get 3 Soul back. It's quite nice. It makes you. It's very good for deck compression. In this game, it can stall out for very late, so it's very good to deck compress, and it's also good to Soul Charge if you don't want to Soul Charge from your deck for some reason. Then yeah, she's good for that. Next, we're running the Slipnir. I think that's the name for this guy. Skill is Counter Blast 1. When this card attacks and it's being boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, Soul Charge 3, and then if this during your turn, if a card has been put into drop zone from your Soul, you can draw a card. So if you use a Stride effect and you put cards into a drop zone, and then you use this card after that, then you can draw a card. So yeah, it's okay card. Mainly you want it for the draw, but the Soul Charge helps. So yeah. Next, we're running 4 of the new rare from the set. Skill is Generous Rank 1. Every time a card in your soul is put to the drop zone, this card gets plus 1000 power. It's very good for forming nice columns. Mainly, for example, if you use a Vanguard, then he'll get plus 6000 power already, so he'll be a 15k attacker by himself. And you have the booster, then it'll form an even bigger column. It's pretty good. So running the Great One version of that guy, same skill. During Trick 1, when a card from your soul is put to the drop zone, during this turn it gets plus 1000 power. So if you have a column like this, you'll gain quite a lot of power. So it'll swing for quite a scary number. And it's pretty easy to form this column. If you soul charge them into your soul, and then you combo Fenrir with starting Vanguard, then you can just get this column easily. So, yeah. Next, running 3 Stride Enablers, because Stride Enablers. Also, let's just search for Fenrir, so it's good. A lot of times you want to ride Fenrir. You want Minerva for later, or you want her in the drop zone to fuel your Chimeras. So Minerva's pretty good for Stride fodder and being in the drop zone for other targets, like Shiny Angel. Skill is when this card's played on rear guard circle, and you can choose 3 Regalia units and put them into your soul. So it's the basically Grade 1 version of Chimera. So, yeah. We don't run a whole lot of Regalia units, but we run enough that they're useful. So, it's good. Next, we're running 4 Proguard Gs, because Proguard Gs, Counterblast. The deck doesn't use a lot of Counterblast. Actually, you know, if you use Fenrir's turn skill every turn, it does take out Counterblast, but yeah. That's why we're running a lot of slow charge cards that don't require Counterblast, like the Chimeras and Shiny Angels. For triggers, we're running 8 crit, 4 of them are Regalia crits. These are important because you want to have more targets in your drop zone for Chimera and Shiny Angel. Running 4 stands. This stand is very important. It's very strong. Skill is Generation Week 1. Put this card to the top of your deck. At the end of turn, you would pay the cost. If you do, choose put your whole drop zone back into your deck, and then if you put 10 cards or more, you can draw a card. So basically, you restart your deck, and this is where the deck compression comes in. A lot of times, if you soul charge cards, you mainly want to soul blast your triggers out and keep your normal units in your deck, or in your soul, so that when you use this guy's effect, you'll have more triggers in your deck and less normal units, so that you can drive check easier to combo with Vanguard and stuff. So, yeah. And then, of course, we're running 4 Regalia heals. So, a lot of times, if you use Chimera and Shiny Angel, you'll want to put, if you have you don't have enough normal Regalia units, then you'll put these in. But these are the priority Soul Blasts. So if you want to Soul Blast these guys, then these are pretty important. Also, if you Soul Charge these, and you use Fenrir skill to call this out, it'll help you because at the end of turn you can put your cards back into your deck to avoid decking out. So yeah, it's a pretty strong trigger. We don't run draws. I was running this the Regalia draw before, but he didn't really help me that much, so I'd rather just run 8 crit and 4 draws, 4 stands instead. For the strides, we're running 1 Demeter. In case you hit that Minerva for stride, you can still build up that soul earlier. He helps. It's okay because skill is Counterblast 1. When this card attacks, you can pay the cost. If you have a Regalia heart, then you can Soul Charge 3 and then unflip damage for every heart you have. But you don't run the Legion, so you'll unflip 1 and Soul Charge 3. So we're running 1 Demeter. We're running 1 of the rare unit from GPT-04. Skill is Soul Blast 3. When this card attack hits, you may pay the cost. Soul Blast 3, yeah, play the cost, and then look at the top 3 cards of your deck. add one of them to your hand, and then put the rest to your soul. So it's pretty good. Lets you add a card to your hand, and then you get 2 soul. So you pretty much her skill requires the last one, sort of. But if you shot on top of Fenrir, then you'll get that 3 soul charge anyway. So yeah, and then running 2 Doom Brace. Doom Brace's skill is soul last 3. Choose 2 of your rear guards, and during this turn they get plus 1000 power. And if you have less than 2 soul, or if you have 2 or less soul, you can soul charge 3. So if he's your first ride, then a lot of times you will have less than 3 soul, or 2 or less soul, so you can get that 3 soul charge. I mean, after you use this effect. So yeah. And then I'm running 4 Vanguard. Pretty good if you compress your deck enough. You pretty much always drive check into triggers, so that you can form very scary numbers with these guys. So yeah. If you play your deck right, then you can also get some extra attacks in. So yeah. What else? So yeah, his skill is Generation Break 2, Soul Blast 6. Choose a Persona Flip, and then when this card attack hits, you will pay the cost. If you do, during this turn, it gets a new skill. Before your drive check, you can look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and then readjust and then stack your deck basically. So you stack the 4 cards. You can either put it on the top or bottom of your deck, and then after that you just conduct your drive check. So if you see something you don't need, then you just put it to the bottom of your deck. It's also very good for playing mind tricks, as I said before in my Regalia profile. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this for your deck. It's very fun, and this trigger is very good. A lot of people think that you can stall out Regalias. I mean, stall out Genesis because they're going to deck out, but that's not true anymore because of this stand trigger. It's definitely very strong, and I definitely recommend running these. Draws, up to you. You can take out 4 less crits and run draws instead. But yeah, it's all up to you. And please, when you're playing, please keep in mind how many of these you have left in the deck, so that you do have access to these if you are about to deck out, and always keep one of them in your hand so that you can restart your deck anytime you feel like you need to. So yeah, that's it for this deck profile. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Kartaku, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.